Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Tuesday and we have some baby news, and it is some fundy baby news because one of the Bates is having another child. I know, it's always like, who's going to be pregnant next? Well, the last pregnancy I think we announced was Kendra Duggar's mother being pregnant, but now we have a Bates that's pregnant, a Bates. All right, so before we get started, do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. Also, subscribe down here if you have not yet subscribed, and turn those notifications on so you know when I go live. All right, so let's talk about the Bates. Bringing up Bates, Zach and Whitney Bates are expecting their fourth child. What? Yes, that's right. Zach and Whitney Bates are pregnant again. This is a year after she actually gave birth to her third child. So they made the announcement over on Instagram, and Whitney, who is 27 years old, and Zach, who's in his early 30s, are already parents to Bradley, who's 6, Casey, who is 4, and Chloe, who is 12 months old. And now they're on their way to having a fourth baby. In a series of photos in which they shared on their Instagram, Whitney and Zach said this: "Hello, baby number 4. We are so excited to share the news that we are expecting our sweet baby in June of 2021. There's no way to describe the joy in our heart right now. It feels like all of our free time is spent talking about and planning for this new little blessing that will soon fill our home with smiles and giggles. Brad and Casey are already trying to guess the gender, and we feel like each day is a celebration, just anticipating baby number 4 joining our family." Now, here's the interesting news, is that the Bates have had there's been some Bates illnesses, right? So several of the Bates have come down with the germs that are circulating all over the United States and the world. And it sounds like this did not miss Zach and Whitney, because she said this: "Shortly after we found out that we were pregnant, Zach unfortunately contracted the germ at his work, and I ended up testing positive as well. It was a rough couple weeks for our family, with a lot of prayers going up for our new baby, but we thankfully have all recovered and feel healthy again. Knowing that the germ can cause side effects in pregnancies even after it has run its course, we are working closely with Dr. Vic to ensure the health and safety of our new little one. And so far, everything is looking perfect. We greatly appreciate your thoughts and prayers, and thank you all for your love and support and excitement in our family through this special time." So then she says link in bio, which takes them to a People magazine article, which basically says the exact same thing. So they are going to have 4 now, and they are already very busy. Now, prior to having Chloe, she had had a miscarriage, and so Chloe was her rainbow baby. So knowing that she has had some pregnancy losses in the past, this probably is a very, uncertain time and a scary time, and I can't imagine having to deal with a brand new pregnancy on top of this pandemic. There's been a lot of babies being born during this, and it's put a lot of restrictions on visitation and hospitals and going to appointments and who can go to the appointments and who can be in the hospital with people. When Joanna had her baby, if you remember, she was bummed out about not being able to have her family at the hospital with her, and she was only able to have Austin there with her husband, and then her doula, who was Austin's sister. Now, a lot of people were like, well, why isn't Jill there? Well, Jill's not actually practicing midwife, so she wouldn't be able to be there as a friend. So the guess was that Austin's sister is actually registered as a doula and able to go and be in births as an attendant. So from a legal perspective. So it's unclear what's going to happen here with Whitney. Obviously, it sounds like this will be in the hospital because of the complications she had early on. It's obviously very exciting. We know that whenever there's a baby, it adds a new storyline to the show. So there could be another storyline of Zach and Whitney's baby. So several of the Bates have actually contracted this virus. We saw Carlin and her husband, Evan. They came in contact with it this summer. Last year in the spring, some of them also contracted it. It was actually part of a storyline at the very end of Bringing Up Bates. And they did, at the end of the season, say that several members of the family had come down with this. So multiple members have come down with this. Now Whitney and Zach are admitting that they have had it as well. And hopefully everyone stays healthy. So we know that a lot of the Bates have had COVID. We also know that we have a mama now that is pregnant with her fourth who already has had a history of loss. So we will just continue to hope that everything stays safe for them, that they continue to follow all of the requirements of wearing masks, socially distancing, and with making sure that they stay home. I'm sure for the Bates, these are a challenging time because the family is huge. It's kind of like the Duggars. I'm surprised no one in the Duggars has actually come out and said that they have it at this point, because the Duggars, I feel, have been like even more. The Duggars have been everywhere. Like, they're not abiding by the only 10 people in the house rules. I mean, that would be impossible. They have more than 10 people in their family to begin with, but they're still going on with family nights, even though there's restrictions in the state of Arkansas, which state you're not supposed to have more than 10 people meeting at a time. So it's interesting that the Duggars haven't had any announcements like this. Now you have the Bates, who have had multiple family members who have contracted it. You also have Lawson Bates, who has been on Twitter, who's been very adamant that, people should have a right to decide whether or not they wear masks. People should have a right to decide how they live their lives. People should not have to stay home. People should not have to abide by these rules. He's taking on sort of this my body, my choice mantra, which is interesting because they don't have that same mantra when it comes to other things, if you know what I'm saying. So the fact that so many of them are getting it can be a byproduct of perhaps some of their beliefs. Now, it sounds like Zach, she says, contracted it at work. So it could have just been that he was taking all of the precautions, but due to the proximity of being at work, being around other people, that he contracted it. We know that, in order to stay safe, the best thing to do is to wear a mask, stay home, and socially distance. So by June of 2021, when the baby is due, let's hope that there's a better handle of things. Let's hope things are more calm. Let's hope that maybe there is something out there that can prevent people from getting it. You know what I mean? Like those things that people are working on right now, but I don't want to talk about it because then it'll start an argument in my comments. You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, so this is a scary time for a lot of people to be pregnant. I'm sure it's even more scary for Whitney on top of all of that because of her history of now being a survivor of this specific illness. There's a lot that can happen after you recover, including blood clots, including having issues with your heart. So let's just hope that the baby is good, that there's no side effects, that there is nothing long-term that will affect the child. I can't imagine how scary that must be to, 1, find out you're pregnant, 2, contract this, and then 3, have to have ongoing care to make sure that everything stays healthy, not only for you, but for the baby. I mean, that is a risk and a stress that I would not want to experience. So if you are a praying type, or you are the kind of person that likes to put out good thoughts to people, I'm sure Whitney and Zach would be for sure taking those. And as always, we're very excited when new babies arrive. We are excited to find out whether or not this baby will be a boy or a girl and what their name will be. We know the Bates like to do their gender reveals, so I'm sure as soon as they find out, they will share that with everyone. We know that Zach and Whitney are not your traditional type. Whitney did not grow up in this world, and they did kiss before they got married. So there could be a little bit more progressive behaviors with this family and with these kids. We can only hope. So tell me what your thoughts are in all of this are. Are you surprised they contracted this? Are you surprised she has to deal with this while she's pregnant? And what are your thoughts about them continuing to stay safe and following protocols to make sure that they don't get anyone else ill? All right, you guys, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.